In case you're wondering, we're just a block or two away at the American Colony Hotel. Very beautiful hotel. Lovely gardens. Such beautiful flowers everywhere here. I can see why we come in the spring, and especially for the cooler temperatures, but the flowers are magnificent too. Yellow roses, so beautiful. Another beautiful girl right there with her new pants that she bought yesterday with a little bargaining. Yellow roses again. These tea olives are very fragrant. I can smell them as I walk by. Glad I don't have his job.
When it's not all bloomed out.
More roses.
Oh, here comes Sniff.
Well, we saw the birds earlier. These are the bees.
I've heard this is a wonderful book, The Goldfinch. I think I'll download that on Kindle. Wow.
He likes it up there. He can keep an eye on everything. He's a guard bird.
Really? Wow.
This guy's from the same family of birds that live in that nest above the door, because I saw him flying to and from the nest. Come on, take the picture if you can. They even have a fresh garden back here to supply the guests. Some berries. Boy, that's an old olive tree.
No, I mean,
Oh,
there's three balconies.
very nice hotel. Yeah. Everything's just a little behind us in Florida. Yeah, don't walk in front of me, please.
Can someone check on our food?
On our last day here, we had to have hamburgers here at the American Colony Hotel.
And Kim for letting us join his group. Most of you know how the trip started, and after giving a little presentation to our Sunday school class, the people said, you know, I'd really love to go to the Holy Land. And I was like, oh, yeah, you should totally go. And then they said, guess I have to back up just a little bit, because the way the trip happened was we were at dinner at a friend's wedding. It was the night before. We were not invited to the rehearsal dinner, so Kim and Bill and Steve and I went out to dinner. And I do the full disclosure. It was margarita night, and by the end of the night, we went from margarita night to the brewery where the after rehearsal dinner party was, and by the end of the night, we had signed up to go to Holyland with Bill and Kim. So anyway, after my presentation, people said, oh, I really would love to go to Holyland. I was like, yeah, you should totally go. And they were like, no, we want to go with you and Steve and the margarita pitch preacher. So they thought it sounded like a lot of fun, and which, if there's anybody that hadn't had fun on this trip, I'm pretty worried about you. It's been such a blessing, a great group. I just have made some wonderful friends, and certainly deepened friendships from people from Peachtree Road that I didn't know that well. So, but really, Bill's the one. I mean, we got in touch with him and said, when are you going back? And he said, April 2015, which, June 2014, it seemed like a long way away. And I said, well, if I can get a handful of people to go with me, could we join you? And because Bill had always said, there's so many people that say, oh, yeah, I'm going to go, and they never sign up. So, I'm thinking 5-6 people maximum. And so sent out an email to the Sunday school class, and got, by the end of the first day, had about 30 people on the list. So I was like, oh my, because by then they knew when the dates were, if they matched with their calendar, and people really do make plans far in advance. There were people that had conflicts, but had 30 people on the list. And so then I get in touch with Bill and say, what's the maximum number of people that could come from Peachtree Road? And he says, 18 would be a good number. I said, okay. So we have our 18. We filled up our 18, had a waiting list. And so the other thing that was a little concerning was when Steve and I came in 2013, there were 22 people on the trip. And we had a bus this size. I mean, we were all spread out, and, I thought that was a good group. And I thought, oh my goodness, how in the world are we going to get 42 people shepherded in and off the bus, and are we going to have some stragglers? What's going to be the deal? And to tell you the truth, this group, and this is just hats off to everyone, has been more efficient than the 22 we had when we came before. So that's a really nice, I'm serious, that's a great compliment. We were really concerned that we maybe wouldn't get to everything and do all the things that we did before. We've done more. So it's been wonderful, such a blessing, such a treasure, all the friendships that we've made. And but I really I've told people the biggest blessing, I guess, can you say biggest, is being with Bill Barnes and Kim. And Bill is truly, I think, like sitting at the feet of Rabbi Jesus. He is such an amazing teacher, such a gifted holy man, as we now know he's a holy man. But I think all of us from Peachtree Road have been truly blessed to have this time with him. I think he set the bar pretty darn high for us to carry on the torch. And it's interesting, at communion, Bill said, everyone needs to think about how this trip is going. You're going to carry what you've learned or experienced from this trip when you get home. And he said that 2 years ago. And the minute we got on the bus after he said that, he sat down next to me and he said, now I know really what you're being called to do. And I said, well, so much for prayerful consideration, right? I guess he's got a direct line, because he is, as we know, a holy man. And he said, Peachtree Road is too big of a church not to be having annual trips to the Holy Land. And I said, okay. He said, that's your calling. You need to get your church fired up about these trips. So after some stops and starts with that, Ann French got wind of it, and let me tell you, if you ever want to get anything done, call Ann, because she got the pastors all signed up, said, yeah, we're going to get that done, and we've got Thomas Martin, and I think all you St. Lucers have been blessed to get to know Thomas a little bit, and he's such a great, gifted guy. And
Hey, Thomas.
we love Thomas, and I guess, you know, we need to, you know, everyone needs to know you can't talk about his new church until May 17th. Your lips are sealed. Even though we've already heard that it's kind of trickling out in Atlanta. But at any rate, just all in all, a great experience. You always wonder, you know, if you ever take a trip and you think, can it ever be as good and fun as the first time? And it really is. It's been fabulous, and Steve and I have just been really enjoyed this second time in the Holy Land. So all of you who go home, if you still got your little white robes, and you think, what am I going to do with that? I suggest you wash it, fold them up, put them in the bottom of your dresser drawer, because you never know when you might need them again.
That's right.
Anyway,
save $8.
Thanks to Bill, thanks to Kim. She's such a good, nurturing First Lady. And just to everyone who's been so welcoming. So, love you all. And to Wissam and Waleed. Poor Waleed got off to a little rough start that first night, but it's been good ever since.
In the Jordan, and we have floated in the Dead Sea. Now, I do have pictures of the Dead Sea that many of you have not seen, but it's really for the guys only. But I'll show you. I'll show you those later. But that's not why I'm here. So much happens around water that, as many of us, and I'm not going to name them to protect them, many of us on the way back from the Dead Sea decided, as we had our bathing suits on, let's go directly to the hotel pool. So because we had that fine film of salt, even after we washed off, you could still feel the salt tightening your skin. So we all walk down, we take our robes off, and we're in our bathing suits, and we're about ready to get into the pool, and there were about 6 people in the pool, and we inquired, well, you know, how is it? How's the temperature? Is it really nice? And they said, come on in, the salt water is wonderful. We're like, salt water? Yes, just like the Dead Sea. Come on in. And we all looked at each other and decided that that was the last place that we would be going. So then we glanced to the right, and there was a hot tub. We're like, a hot tub. There's no salt in that. So we all traipse up. I'm leading the way, and there were people in the hot tub. We didn't, you know, we just glanced up and saw that there were people, but there was enough room for all of us. So I'm the first one. I put my foot in the hot tub, and everyone who's in the hot tub jumps out of the hot tub in about a quarter of a second. And I looked around, and we have managed to empty a hot tub of Muslim women faster than you could say lickety-split. We felt bad for at least 5 seconds because we were desperate to get in the hot tub and get that salt off. So that was the first interesting thought, was that, of course, we realized that, you know, the separation of the sexes, and they take it seriously. So while we're in the hot tub, we're joined by an Israeli couple, and the husband's sister-in-law is also with them. There were 3 of them, 2 women and a man. And we got talking with them, and they were very friendly, and they were from Nazareth. And so we of course, based on Wissam's amazing historical perspective, we knew that they were Israeli only because they lived in Israel after, you know, the War of Independence in 47, I guess, if I got my history right. So we knew they were Israeli, but we knew they weren't Jewish. So they were talking, and they were in fact Christian. And the more we talked, they were explaining that his family had been in Nazareth for 450 years. And of course, he could trace his roots all the way back.
Met the St. Luke group and did have a little bit of a head start, so that was a wonderful thing, and we want to thank you for including us in that preparation meeting, just to give us a little preview of who you were. This trip has been just a lifetime goal for me, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Just seeing the sights have made the scriptures come alive. I will never be able to read Old or New Testament and not be able to picture the places that they're talking about, and it will just mean so much more to me. The friendships that we've made, the company that we've kept, it has just been a real experience and a joy. We've had all kinds of things that I would never have thought to do, going to the tunnel thing and coming back at night. Well, just getting there was an adventure, trying to get through at the Western Wall.
Okay, we're all in the mood for some Christmas spirit here at the Ruth Restaurant. It's Christmas all year long here in the Holy Land. Well, we are at the start and the end of everything holy here, so it's very appropriate to have Christmas decorations all year long. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. It's May 2nd, ho 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 ho. We're at Ruth's Restaurant here, having a good time, having a good lunch. Had several different choices. Looks like he got the shawarma, and French fries were extra. But overall, we're having a good lunch. Join the fellowship on our last day.
Up front, and I wanted to share something. For those of you that know me, you know I'm always saying I love connections. I love the way that human beings can connect with each other, and you know it's a small world, and there's so many coincidences and so on. But I just want to tell a quick story about connections. We went to the Ascadenia restaurant, and we're talking to the owners, and found out that one of the owners went to UCF in Orlando, and for his undergrad in finance and his master's in, well, an MBA. And so we were chatting, and I, you know, talking about just life in the restaurant, and it was really good to connect. And then I was talking with Kim, my husband, about social media, and you know, everyone being on social media, and I am convinced that we will overcome some of the political strife and some of the hostility, one culture to another, through individual connections that we make one-on-one in you know, like the restaurant, like the people we've met and talked with here, like Jason and Jackie, and that social media will help the next generation towards a more tolerant and peaceful coexistence through connections one-on-one like that. So that's what I wanted to say. And also, I just want to say to the Atlanta people how much I admire you, and it's been great to be with you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Emily. Happy birthday to you.
Kiss, 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 kiss. There we go.
Sanahira, Sanahilwa, Sanahira, Emily.
If you don't know what that means. So I wanted to, I thought it would be good to share a little story that happened our first night in Jerusalem. We had tickets, Eileen, Pat, Dale, Monica, myself, and Laurel all had tickets to the light show at the Tower of David. And so we got together, the 6 of us in the lobby, of the hotel, and we were going to take a cab over. We wanted to make sure we got there on time, and so we had to get 2 cabs for the 6 of us. And what?
Keep going.
Okay, peanut gallery. Quiet down. Quiet down. So we ordered cabs to take us over there, and we didn't request anyone special, didn't know who would show up, got our cab, hopped in, headed over there, and as we started talking with the driver, he was asking, you know, what have you done? So while you're here, he was like, have you done this and this and this? And we said yes to everything. We've done everything, which is excellent testament to Sam and Bill and how y'all put together the tour. Great job. Because we started asking, you know, what should we do, knowing we had a free day coming up. And so it was pretty clear to him. He's like, oh, okay, are you on a tour? Yes. Are you with EO? You can tell he's a little hesitant. We're like, yes. And he's like, I'm Jason. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, so we figured that out relatively quickly on our way over to the Tower of David. And he was just thrilled to have more of the EO group in his cab. And he told us a little bit. We're like, oh, you've been taking great care of Jackie. Thank you so much. We've heard stories about it. We heard you want to go to bed with her. So thank you. We hadn't heard that one yet. But when he found that out, he was so happy. He's like, all right, I know where I'm going to drop you off. My cousin, he has a store right next to the Tower of David. I take you there, he'll take good care of you. And so sure enough, I assume he was telling the truth, that just everyone's cousins, it seems.
Probably
that
true.
His cousin had a store right by the Tower of David, right where we were going, so he dropped us off there. And we had a little bit of time before the show started, so we went in and met with Thomas, was his name, the cousin's name. And Laurel and I started chatting. Daryl and Monica were doing a little shopping. Eileen and Pat, were you with us that night? No, okay. That was the next night. Sorry. So there was just one cab. That's what the Peanut Gallery was offering us. So thanks. Anyhow.
The wife is always right.
Yes.
So we were doing a little shopping, and just knowing how kind Jason had been to Jackie, and how kind and welcoming Thomas had been as we walked in the store and he greeted us. We wanted to patronize the store, just do a little bit of business with him. And so we picked out a couple small things. We needed a couple more little camels. We didn't quite have enough of those. So we picked up a couple things, and he insisted that we just take them as gifts. He refused to let us pay him. And what he told us was, sometimes it's not about the money.
Oh.
Those are his words. And so we, obviously a very big heart, and just very friendly, very welcoming, which we've felt from everybody that we've encountered, both on and off the bus, throughout all the places we've gone. And as we continue to talk to Thomas with just the few minutes we had before we had to head over, we found out that he has 3 sons who all went through the Hebrew University as engineers.
Wow.
So we were able to kind of connect with him on that. So just an interesting little, again, moment within a bigger trip where you see some of these things coming together, and you just kind of wonder, how this all comes together. Seems like it can't be by chance.
Amen.
Anyway, so 5 times a day, most of people don't go to mosque to pray. They can pray at home. Now, before Muslims pray, they have to do a kind of a ritual cleansing. So they wash their hands, their face, their ears with water before they go and pray. Now, in Friday, most of the Muslims go to pray in mosques. And most of them, or especially those who live close to Jerusalem or can get to Jerusalem, they like to go and pray at Al-Aqsa, because according to their faith, praying in Al-Aqsa is different than praying anywhere else. Like, you get more credits to pray. Oh, serious, like they say that to pray one time in Al-Aqsa like 500 times in another place.
Wow.
Jewish settlement. They started building it in year 2000. Land was confiscated from Bethlehem and from my town, and now this settlement is considered as a suburb of Jerusalem. So it's like it's considered to be as a part of what they call the Greater Jerusalem.
Purchase the land which deeds for the land. Then I guess that's why he's calling that.
I don't know. That's where we had lunch a few days ago. This is the football stadium. In our words, it's a soccer stadium.
That's why
building up there.
accumulates, yeah. So they said if you really followed what it said on the bottom of the, you know,
Oh, that's an arena, and that's the stadium.
yeah. But anyway,
I'm gonna try it.
the only thing I don't put.
Well, this is a super new section of the city. Everything is practically brand new. Many are called, few are chosen. That building.
Wow, that's how it's hanging out over the air.
Yeah. Fine gravity.
Something not like that.
Yeah, they must have had a forest fire.
Or a drought.
Somebody's living on the cheap up there.
Where? Oh,
There's
up
a
there in the
little-
RV?
Yeah.